Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another BTNeanderthal video. Today we are quickly going over the big patch notes of the big patch that I just came out with. This one is patch 15 is what I'm labeling it, corruptions and more. I just put it out 9 minutes ago, as you can see right on GitHub, but this one is very big. Pretty much just the summary at the beginning here. Patch notes 15, we added corruptions. We added potential sockets to all equipable items, we nerfed Grief's damage, and we added testing files, including characters and a misc.txt. So if you want to go and test some things out before you risk your items, again, I just added corruptions, and this was a ton of work. There's still some more things I want to do, like crafting buffs and stacking items and unique charm corruptions. I do have a bunch of ideas written out for those specific things. It's just a matter of the fact that I'm moving this week and I don't know when I'm going to be back, but I am very happy that I was actually able to get the corruptions out, and we're doing corruptions in a different way. We'll explain that in a moment after we just go over what some of these things are. But yeah, this is a really big patch and I'm very excited to share it with you guys. So for the test characters, just real fast, for the test characters, I put inside the folder after you download it. We have that BTDiablo, I put testing, okay? We have the test characters, which are just the things that you can paste in. We got a level 99 character. We got some like stuff that you can bring in with you as well. And then we just have this misc.txt file. And this right here, when you go into BTDiablo.mpq, you go into data, global, Excel, and paste the misc right here. Now you might want to save this because this is the real actual game. In the one that I'm like giving in the test, you'll be able to basically buy all the end game like items for super cheap if you want to do some testing. It's all like super cheap. So you just buy stuff. You can buy Standard of Heroes for corruption purposes right from Akara, I believe. So yeah, let me know how that goes. Again, paste in data, global, Excel. So that's the testing stuff. As far as the actual things that we changed, let's scroll down a little bit here. Runewords, we removed plus damage and removed venom from Grief. Now this actually kind of is a buff because now you actually benefit from the plus poison damage. Small charms, in some ways, this is definitely a nerf. Especially for Smite. Now it does maximum damage and even a lower value than it did before, but Grief is too strong, especially considering it's only a low rune. People are like, only a low rune, that's hard to find, but like compared to its competitor, Last Wish, which is Jaw, Mal, Jaw, Sir, Jaw, Burr, the fact that it even competes is ridiculous. So yeah. We added a min and max damage for that. So as far as items go, we made actually a bunch of changes to items here, and we'll go over them real fast. Now just I have an example up here. We have an rune, or in weapon equals 20 open wounds, armor and helm equals 15 all res, and shield equals 22 all res, right? That's what an rune does. The reason why I'm explaining it is because of here. Now we have arrows and bolts can now have up to 3 sockets and be repaired. So now they can be repaired. And when you socket an item, it gets the shield modifier. And when I say shield modifier, if you put an rune in there, you'll get the 22 all res. That's what I mean by the shield modifier. And then we have all weapons now the potential of 2 sockets. So they will always get at least the maximum of 2 sockets. Weapons will. Amulets and rings can now have 1 socket. Socketed items get armor and helm modifier. So it's basically like the armor ones. And then we have the belts as well, which go up to 2 sockets and can also be armor and helm modifiers, or they are armor and helm modifiers. Gloves get weapon modifier, and boots get shield modifier. So they're very strong. Boots and gloves are super strong, and they can have up to 3 sockets. I also added support for throwing weapons to get up to 4 sockets, depending on which base it actually is. And they all get the weapon modifier, of course. But as you can see, up to 4 sockets on exceptional and elite for the throwing axes, and then the javelins, we have the exceptional and elite being 3 sockets, and throwing spears up to 4 sockets. It kind of just has to do with the size of the weapon itself, but you can't get more than 4 sockets. But that's another addition we did. And in addition to that, we also brought necro shields up to potential of 3 sockets. So it was 2 before, but now you can get 3. So you should, in theory, be able to get a 3 socket like homunculus if you get the corruption with it. And let's get into the corruptions, because it's the other thing here, which is very exciting. Not only just real fast here, not only I added the sockets to a repairable like a repairable arrows and bolts. You can now use just the Heratli spiritual herb plus arrows or bolts to get replenished quantity mod. Now it'll replenish every 5 seconds. The reason why I added repairable as well is because it'll say indestructible, and that's how I got it, so you could actually repair things and the quantity, and it works fine. But the problem with it right now is that it will run out if you hit 0. So you got to make sure you're repairing it before it hits 0, or else you lose your arrows. So that's something to be aware of. I tried to figure out a way to make it infinite. The game crashed. It didn't like it. You probably have to do hard coding, and I can't do hard coding. So we got it so you can actually replenish quantity, and it's cheaper to replenish quantity. Obviously, Heratli's herb is very expensive still. It's 2.5 mil, but it's not nearly as expensive if you're trying to do like ethereal repair or something like that. So that's something I added for arrows and bolts. And if you get your 3 sockets, if you use Larzik socket quest on it, then you can get 3 sockets. So as far as the items go, I wanted to make sure that you can't just like socket quest some of these things. I really want these to be corruption modifiers, which brings us to the corruptions. So the way I'm actually doing corruptions in this mod is that we're actually going to be having a 40% chance of re-rolling into a random rare, which is essentially bricking the item, and 60% chance to roll with sockets. So we're only having 2 outcomes here, which is a chance to roll random rare and a chance to roll sockets. Now that only includes magic, rare, crafted, set, unique, and then when you use a standard of heroes, you cube it and you get your result. We have the chances here, again 1 to 2 sockets. We wrote them all out here, so you can just pause the video or screenshot it, whatever you need to do to know those values. But like, yeah, I'm very excited for this patch. I was not expecting to get it done as fast as we have. The next thing, again on the list, is to do stacked items, because currently as it stands, a lot of the items in the game are very valuable, and you want to be holding on to those things, which in turn makes it so you actually start running out of stash space. So I don't like that very much. So we're going to try to make stacked items. Things like runes, gems, keys, essences, stuff like that would be great. Maybe standard of heroes. But that is also a big project, like corruptions. Maybe not quite as big, but I'm very happy and very pleased with it. So go test this stuff out and enjoy. Let me know. Again, bug reports in the Discord is very helpful. Much love to all of you guys. Hope you're enjoying the mod. You are all beasts.